Hi, Dallas here with ProPhone, and in this video we're going to be going over the campaigns area inside of the phone system. So first things first, the campaigns area is meant for your SMS automation campaigns, but there is one section in this area that is shared across the campaigns and the dialer campaign section. That is going to be your audiences area. This right here is used in both the ProDialer and an SMS campaign. So like if I go to ProDialer and click on audiences, it's just going to take me directly to the audiences tab here in the campaigns area. So we're going to go through each one of these tabs. We have campaigns, templates, and audiences. The audiences area is meant for you to upload your bulk prospect list, for you to create audiences, and you can build audiences in here as well. You can send like prospects from the CRM. You can send prospects from the conversation table in the dialer. You can add people directly to it from your ProPhone automations. You can literally build out custom audiences in here as well as upload your lists and stuff like that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the build out, and then I'll show you how to do bulk upload as well. Let's do create audience and let's do tutorial. All right, now we have a blank audience. You can also create a blank audience, or excuse me, an audience by doing upload and just click create new. This will allow, as soon as you do a bulk upload, it will create it with a new audience. Otherwise, you can click add to existing and you can do a bulk upload directly to any existing audience that you have. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to add a prospect to an audience. So you click on any audience that you have and click add prospect, and you can type whatever you want here. You can just put in here test prospect, just fill the form out. You can fill out the rest of these. This has Google autocomplete, so if I type in anything after 3 characters, it tries to load an address. And I can type in like 931-5582, whatever, just any number. And I can add multiple phone numbers here up to 5. Okay. Let's do this again. Click add prospect, and it's here. You can also add it directly from the dialer campaign like I was talking, the conversations table. Which if you want to learn more about the dialer area, just watch this video here. Add to audience. From here, you can also create a new audience or add to existing. There you go. Go back over to the campaign audiences. We can see that prospect is now there as well. In the CRM My Lists area and contacts, they both do this. You can go to your My List. This is where all your prospects, where you can store them and house them, where you can filter them and stack filters. Like you can stack like, I want people that are new, hot, all these different statuses, combine them. You can go to lists, like I want people that are just in the Kentucky list and the Tennessee list combined. I want them to have these tags, not that tag, this tag. You know what I'm saying? You can stack your actual filters. Like you can put like cities, locations, all kinds of stuff. City, state, zip. Okay, you can get finite with your prospects filtering. That way you can get kind of more of a segmented audience put together, because you can have multiple lists for prospects in the prospects area, in the My List area. But once you have your filters done, you can just select the ones you want. You can use the select filter here and click actions and just click on add to audience. Choose the audience that we created, any one of them, but we're going to choose that same one, click add to audience. Go back to phone, campaign area, audiences, and we can see they're there. Now you will notice the audiences are calculated based on records and prospects. So for the difference between the two, prospects are going to be the amount of phone numbers in your records, and the records are going to be the rows. So like these are records, these are the prospects, if that makes sense. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prospects inside of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records. That's why it says 8 prospects, 5 records. Okay. You can click on the view icon here. It does the same thing as clicking on the row. You can delete an audience by clicking on the delete icon. You can select all by clicking on the checkboxes, or you can select individual. And from here you can export the audience as well. The ones that you have selected. Opens up in a CSV file. Okay. This way you can upload it again, maybe assign it to another audience, however you want to do that. Because the bulk audience does support CSV files. And then you can delete the ones you have selected also. Like that. Now we're going to go ahead and delete this audience, and I'm going to show you guys how to bulk upload. Like I was talking to you about earlier, you can either, when you do your bulk upload, you can either click add to existing and select an audience you already have and go through the process to do the bulk upload. And from there, it will go ahead and add those new prospects to that existing audience. And if we click create new audience name, we'll just do in here and put, let's do, it doesn't matter. Let's just call this test 2. Now I'm going to select one of my property audiences that I have in the back end here. Let's do Christian County, Kentucky. That's fine. Click continue. The system's going to try to auto map this data for you, because auto map your phone column, stuff like that. On the left-hand side is going to be the headers in your CSV file, your prospects list you're uploading. On the right is mapping to the system. So I'm going to go ahead and do the address 1 and 2 as well. And then we just click on upload. It's going to go ahead and start and process that, and there we go. It has created the audience with the prospects. It shows I got 5,409 prospects in those 2,652 records. That is how the audience area works. It's very straightforward. Yeah, now let's go to templates. So the templates area is designed to house over 100 different messages, different variations of messages that you want to use, with a backup message as well. And these messages do allow for templates that are pulled directly from the audience that is assigned in the campaign when you are creating out a campaign. The messages do rotate. So if you got 20 messages inside of a template, every single text that's sent, it's going to change the next one over and over again until it gets to the bottom of that list. It's going to start right back over. That way the messages cycle, okay? And just like in the campaigns area, the phone lines that you assign to a campaign, they cycle as well, and they're 2 completely independent cycles. Let's click on a test template that we have here. This shows one that I created that we're going to use. All right, we can edit an existing one, or we can create a new one as well. But we're going to edit because it's the same thing that we're looking at right now. Give your template a name, and you just type in whatever, and then you can literally just add the variable that you want. Like I said, it pulls from the audience. So whenever the system sends a text, it's taking that number it's texting to, looking it up, seeing if it exists inside of a record in the audience, and then it's going and it's grabbing the data from that record to plug into the message for you. In the event that a variable does not exist for the message or the number that you're texting to, the backup message will take its place. That's the purpose of the backup message, so nobody gets a text saying hi first name. But that's what this is for. And to add more messages, you just click on add message. Okay, and to remove messages, just click on the X's here. All right. Now carriers like Telenex, Twilio, any other carrier that deals with SMS, stuff like that, they count their messages by parts. So every 160 characters is considered one SMS part or one message, and that's how they bill their users. Okay, so literally if you're typing something out here, you'll see this counter increment. That way you know, based on what they charge per text message, roughly how much that message will cost you when it sends. Like I know I use Telenex primarily, and I pay, I think with my carrier fees and stuff like that, like 0.0075 cents a text, so it's not even a cent. But Twilio can be a little more expensive because they charge 0.0079 or something like that, and then they add the carrier fee on top, so it ends up being a little over a cent. But once again, I would look at the price deck for each one of your carriers that you, or the carrier that you want to use, whether Twilio or Telenex, and make sure you understand how they charge there. I'm just giving you kind of like my experience at the time making this video. But that's how the templates work. They're pretty simple as well. When I built this platform, I was 100% all for like user-friendly as much as possible while providing the best functions and features I could for business owners to use. But anyways, let's go on here to the Campaigns tab. The Campaigns tab has obviously the campaign record here, but it shows you your stats. You got the amount of prospects that you're sending. That's the amount of phone numbers. Phone lines is going to be the amount of phone lines that you've assigned to that campaign. The sent is going to be how many have been sent. The failed is going to be how many failed. Delivered, how many delivered. And then your deliverability rate is calculated based on the amount delivered versus the amount that you sent. Okay. And then you got responses. Responses is how many people replied to the message you sent. And this only increments one per response. It does not increment across the entire conversation. So if I send a text to somebody and then somebody sends me back 2 messages, it's not going to show up as 2, it's going to show up as 1 because you don't want that to kind of inflate your stats. All right. The responses does survive the completed campaign. So as long as you don't delete this campaign, the responses will continue to increment after it's completed. Okay, these other stats will stop though. Now, to view the campaign area itself for a campaign that you have, you can click on the edit, or you can just click on it, and it opens up a campaign details like edit modal here pop up. I won't be able to show you the settings in this one because it's completed, but I'll create one in a second to wrap up this video, and you can see that there. And then you have health. And down here, health basically goes over, it reports every time a message fails that's sent out. It shows the reason the message failed and how many of them had that same failure reason. So like if you had somebody that was like, let's say it's a phone, or it's a phone line versus a mobile number, for example, it would show up in here, the failure reason would show up here, and if 3 or 4 messages hit that, it would show 4 here. It wouldn't keep recording the same failure reason over and over again, because that just wouldn't be good for the user interface or the user experience. So it basically records each failure reason as a category, and then it counts how many times it happened over here. But both my messages delivered in this campaign, as I can see by the stats here, so there is no failure reason, so my health is fine. And then it shows the imported contacts, which is the processing, shows you how many prospects or it's going to text, how many DNC was filtered out, how many contacted was filtered out, and how many responded is filtered out. Contact is going to be any number that you've already texted in that attached to those phone lines that you have in this campaign. It'll filter out the ones you've already texted, that way you don't text them again. Responded would filter out anybody that you have already texted that responded in those phone lines that you're using for the campaign. That way you can be a little bit more finite with your filtering, so you don't text somebody again, or you don't text somebody you've already responded to. Now this one's going to encompass both of these, or it's going to encompass this one as well. So this one's more strict, this one's a little bit loose because you're only doing response. Hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, let's go and close this out. And now let's create a campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this one because that was just a test for this video. Click Create Campaign. Now we're going to give this campaign a name. Let's call it Campaign Tutorial. All right, select an audience. We're going to select the 2 prospects that I have. Let me make sure that is the correct one that I haven't. Yep, that one worked just fine. Let's go back to the campaigns, create campaign. Campaign Tutorial. If I can spell today. There we go. Select template. We'll go ahead and select the template that we created in the SMS templates. I'm going to go ahead and select these 2 phone lines right here. Click Assign. Okay, now we're going to do the rate per minute. That's the next thing we have to fill out. So the way the system works is it's literally 2 texts per minute per phone line assigned. So if I got 2 lines assigned, I can send up to 4 per minute. That means I can do 1, 2, 3, or 4, but I cannot type in 5, no matter how many times I try to put it in here. If I try to type in 45, it doesn't work, or anything like that. So I have to do 4. If you have 3, 4, 5 phone lines, you can go up to 10. You know, if you had 20 phone lines, you can go up to 40. You get what I'm saying? That's how it works. It's 2 per phone line assigned. Okay, now it's going to prompt me to select a day of the week. I'm just going to select them all. It doesn't really matter because I'm only texting 2 people. I could have just chose Saturday because the day's Saturday and it would be just fine. But let's go ahead and do the time zone. You can control the time zone. That's great. Especially if you're marketing nationwide, you can stay in that local time zone. Start time, end time. That way it runs on these dates based on the times that you set and the time zone that you have set. And then we have the campaign start date as well. This means basically like, hey, I want this campaign to start on this date. Not right now, but on this date. Okay. And then we have that responded and contacted filter that I just went over earlier. And this goes over that as well in detail for you. So from here, let's go ahead and click Create Campaign. Okay. As long as you have, if you pause the campaign, you'll be able to edit your existing setup that you have here. You can reassign different phone lines and stuff like that, but I only have 2 in this workspace, so I can only use those 2. But if I had more, I could change the phone lines out. Now keep in mind, if you've already filtered out your responses, contacted DNCs, whatever, changing the phone line does not cause it to recheck the other phone line. It's just going to continue using the new phone line. Okay, just FYI. But as long as you have it paused, you can edit this. As soon as you start playing it again or start it back up, it will make this where you can't edit it because the campaign's running. But yeah, that's the settings, or that's the settings area that we couldn't see earlier because the campaign was completed. Let's go ahead and click Play Campaign. Give it a second, it will go ahead and run. It'll go ahead and send out 2 text messages, and we can see whether they deliver or fail, which they're going to deliver to both my business lines. Let's go ahead and wait a second. Okay, we can see, there you go, it's sent to, delivered to, deliverability 100%, the status automatically updated completed. We see 0 responses. Now since it's completed, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and respond to that message. Even though it's completed, it'll still increment. I'll click OK. Okay, the message came in, it was received, and it recorded that response. We can see it here. Okay. Now, even if I try to respond again, it will not increment again because somebody's already responded to it once. All right. But there you go, guys. That is how the campaigns area works. If you have any questions at all going over the campaigns area, really anything in the ProPhone platform, feel free to submit a support ticket to us by clicking on this drop down right here. Click on help and support. I don't have it in this area because I'm the system admin. Mine's in here. You'll see help and support. Click on that. And then from there, you'll be able to click get support, request a feature, or report a bug. And then you can attach attachments and stuff like that. Let us know what's going on. And then once you submit your ticket, we'll be able to make sure you are squared away. And yeah, that is the campaigns area. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.